protesting for working papers in France on a cold afternoon. Aboubacar Dembélé from war-torn Mali crossed the Mediterranean to Europe on a rickety boat in 2018 to find work.
There
were 72 of us in that boat, and it was either death or liberty. Some come here because of the war, some because of the economy.
Today, he and others here want authorities to give them legal papers after years of living and working in the shadows. The kinds of papers Ukrainian refugees get on arrival in France. While many here are not from countries in conflict, there's a sense of resentment against preferential treatment for Ukrainians who fled war.
Alors moi, j'envie rien aux Ukrainiens. Ils ont fui la guerre.
I have nothing against the Ukrainians. We Malians know about war. They have the right to be welcomed and sheltered, but the state is being hypocritical in claiming there's no room to welcome those fleeing misery around the world. It's not about space, it's about racism.
The European Union's millions of Ukrainian war refugees get working papers, housing, and social services. Their influx is straining services in Europe, leaving non-Ukrainian asylum seekers sometimes scrambling for shelter in countries like the Netherlands. And in France, where some live in tent camps around Paris.
We've seen incredible solidarity towards Ukrainian refugees since last year, which contrasts a bit with the increasingly restrictive policies towards other refugees arriving in Europe.
The EU saw more than 1 million non-Ukrainian migrants and asylum seekers arrive in 2022, one of the biggest upticks in recent years. The bloc is considering new ways to send some back.
We have 3 times more asylum applications than irregular arrivals, and these are overloading the reception capacities, and many of those are not in need of international protection.
More countries are building barriers, like during Europe's 2015 migrant crisis. Right-wing parties in Italy and elsewhere want tougher policies to curb migration. Here in France, a new immigration bill would boost deportations and achieve what the centrist government calls balanced migration. That includes legalizing some undocumented workers in sectors with labor shortages. That could be good news for these West African migrants who are getting help applying for legal status in France, and bring some of today's protesters in from the cold. Lisa Bryant for VOA News, Evry-Courcouronnes, France.